Welcome to Blackchapel Kitchen, and today we're going to be making a traditional Cullen Skink, a traditional soup of northeast of Scotland, and actually from the Count of Cullen, surprisingly. So today we're going to start off with a nice bit of smoked haddock. Now you do want to get a traditional smoked haddock, not the artificial yellow haddock that you often get in the shops, because you are going to get a far better flavour than that. But if you are struggling, definitely any smoked whitefish will do well. Now today I'm going to be making this for one person, but do look down below and you'll get the ingredients. We're making it for many more people, but for myself we're going to need 2 potatoes, so around about 200 grams. We're also going to need 50 ml of double cream. Traditionally you would use an onion, but you can use that if you want to keep it traditional, or my preference do add in a leek instead. It just helps with sweetness, the sweetness of it overall as well. And that essentially is going to be the core of our ingredients, minus a little bit of extra fish stock as well. Now firstly for cooking the leek, we are going to be wanting to cook it down a little bit of butter to soften it as well. But to cut it up, just take your leek, line down right down the center of it, and then just cut into segments here. Now essentially with the way we're cutting it here, we're going to be making it into small little ribbons. Now that's going to look quite nice in soup, almost be like ribbons of seaweed in the soup, and it's going to help it retain a lot of its shape as well. Now we're going to want to take these away and sweat them in butter for 5 minutes. Now moving on to our potatoes, we're going to want to cube them up and keep skins on, keep the flavour, and we are going to be wanting to take these away and boil them for approximately 5 to 10 minutes, just till they're softened, but we don't want them to be too soft. Now for cooking our fish, we're going to want to go and take our pot that's going to be going into the hob and put in 200 ml worth of fish stock, just I'm making this for one person, remember, and then add in our fish there. We're gently going to want to cook this on the hob covered for about 5 minutes. And then after 5 minutes, it should be perfectly flaky and ready to go in our final soup. Now this is essentially where the dish is all going to come together very quickly. And we are going to want to take our fish back over with the stock, and to that we're going to then want to add in our potatoes. You're going to notice that just with them being cooked for 5-10 minutes, they are a little bit soft, but they're not completely soft. Because you're going to be cooking this further, they are going to break down further, and you don't want them to completely fall apart. Now we're going to want to add in about half our leek here. We're going to save a bit of it there for decoration there at the end. You can tell there with 5 minutes in the butter, it's going to have lots of nice flavour and a little bit of char there as well. Now mix this all together. It does look a bit thick, but I promise you that's not going to be like that at the end. We're going to return that to the hob for 5 minutes once we've added in our double cream and mixed that there all together. So now let's give this all a good stir. And of course at this point here you can add a bit of extra salt if needed as well. And essentially now all we need to do is just reheat everything up on the stove, and then it will be nice and ready. And here we are, traditional Scottish Cullen Skink. And it's truly delicious. Add a little bit of extra leek on top for decoration, and a bit of extra peppers. Never going to go wrong here as well. And salt as well. Can't forget that as well, because not every smoked haddock is going to taste the same. And just to add that, a little bit of extra flavour. It's a little bit of pinhead oatmeal. This is a bit of a strange tradition from Lossiemouth, and it does help to thicken up the soup as well and make it truly delicious.